Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Calvin Chronicles. In this video, you join me after my layover in Hong Kong, heading to Australia, the first of two stops. My first stop was to Sydney on the east coast of the country, and during my trip I had a surprise reconnection with a friend and also was able to make some new friends along my stay there too. I'd like to ask you, if you've not already, to consider subscribing using the button below. This not only helps me, but it also helps you to be informed when future videos are released. I'd also like to note that my Sydney visit was during the height of the wildfires just outside of the city, and I considered actually skipping this part of my trip. Fortunately, there was some rainfall that not only helped the firefighters, but made me feel comfortable to continue on with my trip to Sydney. I mentioned this for a couple of reasons. It did affect my trip while I was there, which we will cover during the video, but I also, with current events that have moved on from the wildfires, I just wanted to just know that there are still things that are going on in the world, and I put some links below in case you'd like to learn more how you can help out firefighters and the wildlife that have been affected during the time of the fires. So with that, let's go ahead and get you guys to Sydney. mentioned at the beginning of the video that the wildfires did affect my time in Sydney. You'll notice in the ferry ride back from Manly Beach, it kind of looks like it's sunset, but you'll see that the sun is pretty high up in the air, so there was still another couple hours of daylight left, but the smog from the wildfires did affect what the sky looked like. And we noticed during the day that you kind of get some tickle to your eyes, tickle to your nose, sneezing from the smog, and it was bearable that day, but the next day it was actually worse for the next 2.5 days. One of my friends had actually noted that you could not see from Sydney Harbour to the Opera House, which you saw in earlier footage. So those are fairly close together, and the fact that you could not see one from the other, that just showed how much worse the smog had gotten from the wildfires for those couple of days. I did not go out during those times other than to grab food and get a much needed haircut, but other than that I did not leave for 2 days just because of the visibility and what we experienced the day before just from the smog. So just wanted to note that, so one, you can understand how the trip was affected, and then also when you're seeing some of the remaining pictures, it kind of gives you this almost like a look like you're on Mars from the reddish tint to the sky. But yes, that wasn't me making mistakes or anything, but that's just kind of really what it was looking like for the rest of my time in Sydney. And that was my visit to Sydney, Australia. I thank you for joining me along my journey. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up below. And also remember, I dropped some links below in the description if you are interested in learning how you can help out with wildfire relief in Australia. Again, I appreciate you taking your time, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.